Hi, this is Brian. I'm back at you again. Anyway, I just wanted to talk with you again about certain things that go through your mind daily. Okay, one would be what's going through my mind daily. Okay, what's going through my mind daily is I'm living in America that is getting ever increasingly difficult day by day, and it is. And what I mean by that is, it's like you turn the TV on. You just want to just turn the TV on to catch the brief morning news, okay? And you get this morning news that comes on, and it's just a barrage. You could sit for from like 5 in the morning till about 8 or 9 in the morning. You can go to 5 or 6 different major news outlets: Good Morning America, ABC, CBS, NBC, and all these other different things. And if you want to if you want to be a freak on news, you can go to CNN, BBC, etc., and go through it. Just all you're going to be watching is the bad, and you're and just stuff that's really stupid, insignificant. That's not really giving you any information on how to survive, but it's just showing you how screwed up, ass backward things really are. Wars, rumors of wars. Looming depressions, shootings, and all these different crap that's going on. How farms are going on, how our country infrastructure is falling apart. It's all you're bombarded with. You're just like, my God, I'm living in a world that's just falling apart at the seams. It's like an old pair of blue jeans, and everything starts splitting out. The crotch, everything. The threads are just getting weak, and everything's just falling apart. Man, it's like a house of cards. It just falls down. It's a domino effect. And you got to digest this. Where do you stand in this ever increasingly? And there's so much going on at all these different areas that we have. Like we got our military, we got our economy, we got our geopolitical issues, different countries going through this, different countries warring with each other, shortages of food, the environmental effect, employment. Like I said, farmers ain't going to be able to plant certain crops because the weather is getting so diverse and so weird, and so many weather anomalies in so many different places, where we're like ants scurrying, trying to find the security and happiness we need in our life, and everything's just we're just chasing a dream, and it's right in front of us, it's right within us. If we could learn just to live with each other, literally live with each other, do the best we can, and not kill each other, and just live this life, take care of this Mother Earth that we have the best we can, and not just be so opinionated against each other that we cause conflicts and our different religions that we have and all this other stuff, we'd be fine. But it's not going to happen. And the thing about it is, too, unless some total miracle from the heavens come down and just change everything, which I've been secretly hoping and waiting for, if it ever happens. Some things are on the upswing. Things are changing for the better in some areas, but not enough to get rid of the bad. Everything runs by trucks in this United States. If these trucks start running, we're going to have shortages up the yin-yang, okay? And I highly recommend, like I said, for people out there traveling or whatever, have a month's worth of food on your vehicle, on your person, anything, anywhere you're at, an apartment, anything. Have stuff that you can sustain yourself, preferably non-perishable, because if the power goes out, you got 6 months worth of meat and everything, unless you got generators and a couple months worth of gas to run them generators, or some type of solar system, that you can utilize just right off the grid, that'll keep your refrigerator going or freezer to keep that stuff good. You're going to lose it. It's all a waste of money anyway. So I just recommend getting stuff you can pop a can. Canned food's not the greatest, but something, you can can your own food. It's food, and when you don't have food, it's a shaker, maker and shaker. It's a maker and a breaker in existence. If you don't have food and water, you're screwed. Okay? And if you don't have sanitation or first aid equipment stuff, if you do hurt yourself, acquire a cut, get sick, stuff like that. There's so many things going on that we can't keep up with them all. And I don't like to get into politics, but getting into the political spectrum of things, we've got all these beasts with different countries. We've got this nuclear stuff ever looming in front of us where it's like, I look at it like a powder keg with all these different wicks coming out of this barrel, like a big, huge powder keg barrel. There's hundreds of wicks on it, and we've been lighting them, putting them out, stamping them out. But one of these days, soon or whenever, someone's going to light that powder keg, and it's just they're going to let it burn, the thing's going to pop. And it's going to be a major conflict, major catastrophe, and it very well may involve nuclear. Just a few of these nuclear bombs, a few of them, anywhere, is going to just screw things up. When I say screw things up, it's going to screw things up to the point where our atmosphere, our atmosphere and our, what do they call it? It's I can't think of it right now. It's in the morning time, guys. But it's our Earth ecosystem. Okay, let's use that word because it's a good one. It's a closed ecosystem. Let's take like the Amazon rainforest. When that stuff started, they were doing all that clearing and burning there. It affected the climate. Well, nuclear and nuclear bombs and stuff like that, it affects the climate, man, permanently. There's no coming back. You know, look at Chernobyl. That'll be that way for a million years. It'll still be there when we're all gone, and if this Earth repopulates, regenerates, you know, through different subsequent generations, you know, what's going to happen is it's still going to be there. You can't get rid of that nuclear waste. You can't get rid of that radiation. So what does it do? It just creates, you're not going to be able to grow crops. You know, just several of them would change the atmospheric equation to where basically what's going to happen is people are going to perish because of food shortages. They ain't going to be able to grow crops. People tend to go where there's food and water. If you're starving, you're going to go seek out any ways and means to get food, water, to nourish yourself. If you can't do that, you're still going to do that. You're going to turn into animalistic mode. So, you know, you see the show Walking Dead. You know, is it really that far-fetched? Yeah, it is to many degrees. I don't agree in the old adages where the government creates a vaccine and some supernatural power comes down and makes us into zombies, where we're flesh-eating zombies, and the only way to get rid of us is shoot you in the head, and then you know if not, you come back and you're just like the Walking Dead. I don't believe in all that crap. What's the scary part is I believe that we have Walking Dead among us. We're living human beings with a deranged mind, and the farther you go into an economic stoop, you become animalistic. Okay, what I mean by that is, like, if you tend to not have food or water, you become like a savage. Like, you revert back to the caveman hunter-gatherer days, where you do whatever you got to do to procure water to survive and food to eat. And if you can't do that, you'll get it anyway. And a lot of examples throughout history, when people didn't have food, they will riot, they will loot, they will, you know, just go loot a store, you know, just to get food. And that's happened repeatedly. History has shown numerous instances, the Detroit riots, etc., different places where people just go in, they'll loot a store of 300-400 people, and within the scope of a couple hours, there's not a can of dog food left in that supermarket. They'll just take it, come out. The supermarkets and they don't care. And if you have a group like that in Massey during times of turmoil and unrest and rioting, the local law enforcement, they don't have the ways and means to subdue, and squash that incident. So it's just going to continue on. It could go widespread. So that's I envision that it happening at some point. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? We don't know on a day-to-day basis. Our world could change in a quick instance. It really could. It could, you know. And that's the scary part about everything, man. And there's just so many different things that are going on where we can't control in our daily lives. All we can control is ourselves. You know, the choices we make, and there's you just got to be ever, in my situation, you just got to be ever increasingly cognizant, aware, your personal safety, different things. You have to just kind of take it day by day. Give me just 1 second here. I'm actually making this last cup of coffee. I'm not going to be getting any more of that coffee out of there because it's piss weak. And I got to add, I'd be better off just making one of these in a cup. You know, to just to have that for a cup to drink instead of adding that to coffee. But so, like I was saying, get back to what I was saying on this situation, the way the world is. Yes, it's going to get ever increasingly difficult, man. There are some things going on with like trying to lessen the ozone effect on our environment, through getting more electric cars, better efficient cars, fuel that doesn't create carbon emissions to the point where, like, you go to some cities. I was talking to a guy the other day that's from Phoenix. He's lived there for 22 years. Now he lives up here. He said there's a cloud over Phoenix, just a brown cloud. They don't get a lot of wind through there to clear all that out. So it's almost equivalent to smoking a couple packs of cigarettes a day. And he moved out of there because his bronchitis got so bad, where it's almost emphysemic COPD condition. And since he's moved up here in northern Minnesota, it's went away. And I agree with that. There's just, some of these things, man, that are going on, environmental wise, man, we're screwing our earth to the point where, the Native Americans speak on this about, treating their Native Americans, basically, they're indigenous people, Alaskan Indians, most of your 99% of your Native American tribes, they're stewards of the land. They're more into this, taking care of the land, utilizing resources of the land, reusing it, trying to work with Mother Nature to ensure that we're not just decimating our land where it's beyond repair. Like, take, for example, up in North Dakota during the fracking up there, we left toxic pools after this fracking because, what you're doing is you're injecting water into the land to break up pockets and stuff, then extracting the oil out of it. It's a pretty complicated process. I don't know the whole thing about it, but I know the basics. And what it does is that stuff's got to come up, and it leaves toxic pools up there. And they wanted to do the oil companies wanted to go through several reservations in different parts of Montana, North Dakota, and some other places, and they protested against that because that's their reservation. That's what they have left. That's what they live on. I'd be right with them. Just for the sake of running a pipeline through there, and they claim that it brings stability to the region. What it does, and that'll it doesn't bring jobs. It's all a greed thing, and the people on the land that have been exploited, i.e. indigenous peoples of any tribe, wherever that particular thing went through, that pipeline went through, they're not going to see nothing of it. They may see a few little subsidiaries or kickbacks, maybe a few jobs. Basically, all it's going to do is decimate their land, and they're left there with, we got a commercial pipeline going through, and what are we benefiting from it? Except the, exploitation of a sacred land. So yeah, there's a lot of things, just this so-called powers that be, and I'm not going to put any names on it. We know what they are. They're consuming everything at the expense of people, places, geographical areas, and it does affect our economy. It affects our environment, but it's just going to keep going on. And then you couple that all in with all these things, you mix it all in this big mixing bowl of problems that we have. And what do we have? We have a pretty chaotic world that's volatile to erupting into all different types of insurrection, violence, economic decay, and just basically a confused, evil world that's on its way out. And, hey, you just got to do the best you can. We're like little ants going to and fro. I got an F-150, I got an F-250, I got an F-350. Everything's better and better and better and better. And technology has got to the point where it's just, You're online, you got to watch. There's so many different negative things going online, you know, particularly Facebook. My gosh, people get on Facebook, divulge their whole life on Facebook, just literally. All their info right there. There's people out there that just make their living off preying off people's information. Then you have these companies, Google, Facebook, etc. And there's been many people voice um, opinions on Facebook that actually worked for Facebook or had a position in there that let the public know, hey, you know, Facebook is doing this and that, it's compromising people's information. You know, there's been numerous instances, and I don't need to speak on any of them. It's right there for anybody to see if you want to delve in and do some internet research on Google. You know, there's scores of different videos you can watch, YouTube, TikTok, different places, and it just shows what's going on. So, you know, I wanted to just, you know, I've sat down and I've just kind of thought about some stuff, man. And it's like, you know, where do I fit into this world? How can I contribute as a human being to make this world a better place? How can I, in my vagabond drifter status, just homeless, traveling through, doing any work I can, trying to be a good guy, how can I contribute to my fellow man and make a difference, a significant difference to love and help other people and be a good dude and just exist in I can do it just for me and just try to emanate it outwards, but it takes a concerted effort. You know, and I just kind of, you know, I'm just going to be a drifter. I'm going to find a place to dwell wherever that may be. I really, at this point, I'm not wanted. I don't have any, you know, criminal problems with law enforcement or anything, but, you know, I really don't like divulging where I'm at. You know, I can tell you, yeah, I'm in Minnesota, I'm going through different places, et cetera, and it probably wouldn't be hard for people to find out where I'm traveling through, but maybe it would, because I'm going to start ever increasingly just more off the grid, more just traveling. You're not going to know I'll be going through, I'm going through this state, blah, blah, blah. And I do write reviews for people. I talk good about people. When people help me, I've been in different motels. I did stuff for businesses. I painted, I did windows, I did little stuff. And I turn around and I try to talk good about them. I'll post a good review so they can get better business. I try to just really do things in a way where I'm not such a consumer, just a roach that's in trying to get all the bacteria out of somewhere, or just a sponge where I come into a place and just sponge everything up and leave and make it bad for the next person. It's like a lot of homeless people, they'll come in, they'll get a motel room, they'll trash the motel room. Or the owners come in and clean it the next day, maybe something ain't working, maybe there's something missing, it's filthy, it's garbage. It just makes them think like, should I keep accepting like churches to put these guys up vouchers and stuff? They mess it up and leave it in a worse state, so it's worse for the next brother or sister that comes through that just needs a little few days to rest in a motel, stuff like that, you know. So, you know, I try to stay on point, man. Is it lonely? Is it a hard lifestyle? Give or take. Does it get lonely? Yeah, but I can't really be lonely because I'm constantly traveling. Somebody picks me up. I'm always interacting with somebody, you know, to do work or a ride or something like that. Um, so it's just kind of one of these deals where you just kind of do what you got to do, take one day at a time. That's it, and that's all you can do. There's not too much more you can do than that. And just try to make your mark, leave your mark, a positive mark, wherever you go through, whatever you do. And I just wanted to share that with you folks, man. I'm going to try to download these videos today. I don't know how they're going to download. Even with just using my data, it takes like an hour to upload a video. And then, you know, with the internet here, it's got decent internet if you just want to do it. But if you're downloading videos, it seems like it takes forever. And so I've got some things I need to do today. I got to let my fingers do some walking through the internet, Google Maps, through towns, make some calls, talk to people, call them. Hey, instead of walk there and talk to people, I'll sit there and make calls. Hey, my name's Brian. How you doing? I just thought I'd let you know I was looking. You got several windows there. It's going to be Memorial Day. I was wanting to know if you want your windows cleaned. See, the windows are clean this week, so when people come into town, they see your business, your windows are clean. You know, I do them for a quick price. I can come right on site and do them. et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's simple, not hard to do. So we'll play it like that today, see how that goes. We'll make some calls. We'll get stuff situated. If I can make 30 to 40 bucks today, that'd be good because that's money in my pocket. And we'll just see how far I can get tomorrow to a couple different locations and see how that pans out. And there we go. That's what we're gonna do. And that's all we can do. But yeah, I would recommend, man, for preppers and people, at large, start storing up some stuff. Get some stuff while you can still get it. Because this summer we may see some significant adverse changes in the supply chain. It may get to the point where it's going to really get where you can't get certain things. And I mean, it's going to be a multiplicity of different items you're not going to be able to get. And you go into Dollar General, local Dollar Generals, all your little cheap stuff, man, they're they just come and they go. They're gone in a day, And yeah, I'll tell you what, think about it. Just think about how this supply circle, this wheel, it's all interconnected, these trucks and and the price of fuel and different stuff and how companies are going out, they're barely hanging on and they produce stuff and then they don't produce it no more. Some of these truckers can't hang on anymore. They can't afford to run their trucks anymore because of ever increasing higher increase on diesel fuel. So I'll let you guys go. I'm going to download these videos. I have some things I need to do today. I will get back with you. This is Brian here with Free Drifter. Over and out.